I'm Ryan Sun. Are you a graphic designer? So if you are, then you probably work at your home or you have a studio. But if you are a beginner and you are learning graphics designing, then if you want to work in your home, you first have to consider that as a graphic designer, what will you do and what consideration that you have to make if you have the graphic studio at your home. So there is a very incredible book named The Graphic Arts Designer Manual by Bert Braham, and he stated a whole page about this that should you have the graphic studio in your home, or first of all you do it for a while, and then you go for the studio for full-time job or full-time work. So let me read that for you, and I hope you can understand what I'm trying to tell you.
The studio in your home. The first question facing the designer planning a business is, where shall I work? Initially, most of us start out by working in our own homes, at least for a while. There are very good arguments for this. Working in your home is usually convenient and you save on studio overheads and traveling expenses. It is not a totally free office space, though. You still have to run heating and lighting, perhaps air conditioning in the summer. You will use the telephone more, and you may be surprised at the degree to which this affects the bill, especially if until now you have been working as an employee. The occasional private calls, which used to be made at the expense of the studio, now boost your own bill. Public utilities may also decide to charge you business rates so that water, power, and telephone bills rise, even if your consumption stays constant. There may be negative tax consideration. In some places, tax is payable on the rise in value of commercial property, but not on the appreciation of residential accommodation. So when you come to sell your house, the taxman is entitled to demand a share of the proceeds of the sale. Tax laws can work for you as well, though. A proportion of household expenses are tax deductible for the designer working in the home. Power and telephone bills clearly fit into this category, and you may even be able to claim dog food. It is wise to look into the other administrative or legal considerations before setting up a studio in a spare bedroom. Check the planning laws. Your enterprise may be regarded by the authorities as unwanted commercial development in a residential area. Making the break. The first year of work after the move into self employment is a critical period. Make the transition smoother by looking objectively at your projected income and expenditure, and by making sure that you have a steady flow of work coming in. Ideally, try to negotiate a part time contract to pay the rent while you build up work from other sources. If you're currently employed and planning to start your own graphics business, your employer may be prepared to accept part time working, particularly if this is coupled with on the job training for the designer who will take your place at the drawing board. Many designers prefer to make a clean break with their employers, often because the former employer is seen as a competitor. If you're in this position, look for extra regular freelance work while you are still an employee. This will mean working 6 or 7 days a week, plus evening and holidays prior to quitting full-time employment. But at least you can then rely on a steady trickle of income in the financially unstable early months. Planning a home studio. If possible, set aside a room for exclusive use as a studio. Dual function rooms invariably create problems of noise, dirt, and disruption. The disruption is two-way. Your work may inconvenience other members of the household just much as their activities disturb you. Choose a space that is out of the way of most other domestic activity. A well-used thoroughfare is not the best place for a drawing board. Daylight is free and easier on the eyes than electric light, so site your working area somewhere that gets a lot of light during the day. If you're right-handed, the window should be on your left so that you are not working in your shadow.